Hi, hello, welcome. This is Comix. I'm Andres. I'm the host this week. And today we have with us.
Hi, I'm Carmen.
What's up, everybody? It's Esteban.
What's even further up, my name is Ash.
You kind of cut out there, but that's Ash.
I was trying to lower the music. I always forget to.
It's okay. Nobody would have noticed until like
Halfway through the episode.
I never know if
listen to the
I never know if it's my fan or if it's the. Here's how I said that, and no offense to anybody. I never know if it's my fan or I know I said it, so I'm gonna go ahead and own it.
You own it. You own
On
it.
your shit.
So today, Carmen has the drink of the show. Carmen, what are you having today?
Oh, I'm having Código tequila. It's really, really nice. I bought it for my mom for her birthday, and I was pleasantly surprised because I'm not a tequila person. But this one is actually really, really good. It's from Amatitlán, Jalisco. And then they have this one. This bottle is like, I don't know, it's like $80, and then they have the añejo for like 50. But I tried both; they're both really good. But it's a tequila that you can sip on, and like you don't have like the nasty like burn and whatnot. So I figured it would be a good tequila to recommend to you guys because it's really good.
Nice.
I mean,
cool.
if it won me over, and I don't drink tequila, so.
Yeah, I think people have bad conception or a bad view of tequila because the shitty one has a nasty burn and it usually fucks people up really good. But there are some really good tequilas that you could sip and it's very much enjoyable, like drinking a nice scotch. So yeah, I would say
the only other tequila that I had been able to sip like that was Tres Generaciones.
yeah,
That
same
one
here.
I really enjoy a lot. So when I came across this one, and you know when you're like at a shop and you just see a person and they start talking to you about like what you're buying and they're like, oh, don't buy that one, buy this one. And like we had a whole ass conversation of tequila for like an hour with a random guy that I didn't know. And then I ended up buying like 3 bottles. So that's how this happened. But I'm
Nice.
glad because I like
Had nothing to do with how hot he was, right?
No.
That was a long stall. Bought 3 bottles.
No, it was
How
not
hot was
that.
she? 3 bottles. Oh.
God.
I'm just kidding.
That's
Well,
awesome.
you know what he did? He worked there, so he conned me. If that was his intent, he made his sales for the day. So.
And when you're like now a subscriber and like totally part of that crew now, or what?
She's got her members jacket and everything.
Has a backup plan.
I did
Not
sign
even-
up for the club, so you know, I get the email.
Next thing you know, Carmen is going to be walking into the podcast with a cut and it says president of that actual establishment.
Excuse me, is Jamie here? No. Okay, I'll call you later.
Get out.
Well, awesome. That was a pretty great drink recommendation. Thank you, Carmen. But I'm going to throw it back to you since you're handling the comments this week since one of our hosts is missing for today. Take it away.
I probably won't do the comments justice the way that Louise does, but I will try my best, guys. The first comment is from one of our biggest supporters, Heavyweight, and this comment was left on a short titled Queen's Office, and this was on YouTube. He commented, was that Marvin? So
Was that Martin?
Marvin.
Marvin.
Oh,
Marvin.
damn. Now Marvin has to listen because he needs a comeback. And yes, that was me at a Christmas party, I'll tell you that.
I know. I was present at that Christmas party.
You were.
Who's Marvin?
Uh,
I guess I'll find out. Marvin should comment.
Yeah, we'll get Marvin to comment. Esteban?
Marvin was just someone that Ash and I used to work with.
Got it.
And he always had me and
along with Heavyweight. We used to work with Heavyweight also.
Yeah. And me and Marcus used to come up with a whole bunch of scenarios. Like if a girl said something weird, like instead of the ha that we all know me from doing, we'd always have Marvin doing this voice. He caught the chick by herself. Like he always managed to like how you say it, like, and then you grab her by the throat and like just weird shit. And then he was the most innocent, nicest guy ever. And that's why it was funny, because then like it's like a movie, like it just turned into him being mad creepy. I can't wait till he starts to listen to us.
Love you, Marvin.
Love you, Marvin. Also, he has a bunch of bodies. Go on.
He has a bunch of what?
Nothing.
Bodies in the basement. If I'm missing next show,
we all know why.
We gotta find Marvin.
I'm gonna say I don't know who Marvin is. I don't want to know who Marvin is. It was just these. I don't need to die. Thank you.
As his shirt says, soft kill.
It'll just be.
The next comment is also by Heavyweight, and that was on episode 48, which is the latest one that we released, where I was host. And his comment was, great episode as usual. Great episode as usual, period. Sorry, whatever. And then he asked, The Matrix Resurrections, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Which I'm sure that we will talk about later on during the episode. So stay tuned, and then you will hear our thoughts. The other comment was for a short also that was posted on YouTube, titled Said Promo. And oh no, wait, is that the person? No, that's the name of the video. Sorry, I forgot to write down who the commenter was. So give me a second.
No worries.
Bad. Already fucking up. Oh yeah, Heavyweight. Got it. His
Three
comment
comments
was,
in.
yeah, he did. New man, I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Okay. Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Nah, man, I'm pretty fucking far from okay. There you go. Wow, having trouble reading today. So those were our latest comments on YouTube. There's a couple people missing. Heavyweight, we really appreciate you showing up. You left comments, and we really, really appreciate it. Zag, where are you at? Yes, I'm calling you out. And then we have a comment on our Instagram as well. Hold on, let me pull that up. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was over
ready.
because I was like, I know at least with Esteban's stuff, there was comments. So that's why I was like, very good job.
No worries. She was just breaking it up from social media. So those were our YouTubes. We're on Instagram now.
Yeah, no, we're moving on to Instagram.
Right.
And so I don't know if we know this person, but they commented on the Comix pre-show conversation that was posted. It's also a short, it's a pretty hilarious conversation that happened. It wasn't meant to be recorded, but that's usually what happens on the type of the conversations that we have before we record. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch it because you're in for a laugh.
I wasn't there that day, huh?
You were not.
You were not.
You would have had some massive insight in that conversation.
Alas.
I'm sure that topic will come up again sooner or later.
Fucking by Luis.
Of course.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as Luis comes back, that's gonna be a subject to talk about. So the commenter was Genevieve Tollerson. I'm gonna go with that because I don't know how to pronounce their handle. So it says, "Good Comics podcast. Your profile is very interesting. You're selected to be a candidate to work with us. Just message with my balls." So when I first read it, I thought it was like a spam. Smooth. But then when I saw the last part, I was like, it's not a spam. And I appreciate your humor. And I appreciate the comment. I'm sure we all do.
We are
pretty good.
honored to have moved your balls.
No, that's an actual male grooming company. You know the
Really?
company. Yeah, you know the company Manscaped.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's like their come up competition. It's called Smooth My Balls. They're coming up with, they have like a razor and all this other stuff. Like no joke, like legit.
Wow.
And the only reason why like I actually like looked into it because I got a couple of those comments on the beard oil
Yeah, I was gonna say.
page. Yeah, I got a couple comments on the beard oil page about it, and I looked into it, and it's funny because I showed my wife one of those comments, and it showed like the person's name, and it was like, I think, let's just say Heather, whatever, you know. And then I showed my wife the comment, and then she goes, "Back up, Heather, back up."
Like, damn, Heather, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like contact Smooth My Balls for.
Nope.
But yeah, no, that's like a legit like male grooming company. That's
I'm gonna
like
say
looking-
this. This is not a sponsored ad, but I will most definitely love if they were a sponsor. But Manscaped, you do good shit.
And imagine the skits we could come up with. Not good. It's probably best that you don't sponsor us.
Manscaped, I have
They're like,
some.
we take it back.
I'm pretty nice, well and groomed, minimal nicks on my sack. Thank you very much for that,
There
Manscaped.
you go. Yeah, absolutely. Now,
Take that
okay.
promotion and run with
brought
it.
to you by
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Manscaped, you're legit as fuck. Comics podcast.
We love it. I mean,
Love it. The next set of comments was left on a short also that is on YouTube and Instagram, but it's a comics plays, and this is Aliens Fireteam Elite from the developer Cold Iron Studios, and our own Luis recorded this. And so the comments are by Heavyweight, and he's asking, does it play similar to The Division? And what, you have a PS5? I can't even find one to save my life. So that was Heavyweight commenting, and
it was available on Amazon, but it was like a seriously first come first serve. You happen to have searched that particular day, and they were pretty
at that
much
particular time.
Yeah, but it was like they were either returns or they were whatever. But my friend had got one, but her others, she knows people that are in like this waiting list, but like Amazon wasn't doing a waiting list. So it's kind of like you searched that day, you got it that day. We have 5, you're getting 5. Like it's just gonna come in and go out. But it's a possibility for you to get it. You just have to work. I'd rather wait till like next Christmas and just get it for $1.99.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, for sure. But the reason why there's such a shortage is because the manufacturer, the chip manufacturing, I think their CPU, it's the same thing that Xbox is dealing with. Xbox and PlayStation, they're dealing with the same thing. The manufacturer for their CPUs, they're just not manufacturing as many and I think it's because of COVID. That's pretty much it, you know.
I thought it was to maybe generate interest. Like, hey,
man. No, it's not that. It's because there's a shortage on the CPUs. That's why they're so hard.
It's the same thing if you've been trying to buy a car this year. There's like limited quantity of that. So my fiance had to buy a car this year, and she like literally there was only one available, the car she wanted, and they were telling us how it's like impossible to get cars in right now. Everything is fucking sold out. They're not making any new cars because of COVID. They didn't I guess they didn't expect there to be the demand so high, so they didn't build the chips enough this year. So everything is just fucking selling out. Like the salesman would tell us, like, we ain't selling shit. Anything that comes in is already gone and promised out.
Yep.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, that's most likely to last to 2024. And that's just because I manage the fleet at my job. And so we talked
Jesus.
to the manufacturers and we had to order the replacement vehicles for like the fleet for 2022 already. And they're like all those orders are first come, first served, and anything that's left over, that's what's going to the public.
Jesus.
So they're like very slim pickings. And if you have used cars and you wanted to sell your used car, this would be the time to do that because prices are only going to soar up. But also know that the stock on cars is going to be limited. So if you're going to sell your car, just make sure you have whatever
Have
else
one.
you're going to replace it with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get one first before,
Yeah, before you try to sell your old
or
one.
else your
But yeah.
ass be walking. And we all know how that song goes. Nobody walks in LA.
Walking in LA, nobody walks in LA.
Next comment, please.
Thank you. So I'm just going to read Luis's response to Heavyweight for those of you that don't follow us on Instagram, and you should be part of the conversation. So he said Heavyweight division has much more customization, but similar mental regarding the PS5. Sign up for the GameStop newsletter. Whenever they get them in stock, they send out an email notification. That's how I did it. Good luck finding one out there. So that was his reply. And then Comix Alliance, another friend of the podcast. Love the Comix Play segments. I was actually excited for this game. After watching this, I'm on board. Chris. So Luis's reply to Comix Alliance dash Chris is so much fun. You won't regret it. The video looks pretty sick, so I'm actually jealous that I don't play. It makes me want to play.
Trying to play the game!
So,
May I interject as well?
please.
Now, I have a PS4. I do have a Switch. That's probably what I play more often. And I just play some stupid fucking baseball game that sucks, and it's just a time waster when the baby is asleep and my fiance is asleep, so I kill time. But I haven't like hardcore gamed in a while because I don't have the time to do shit that I want, much less shit that I need to do. But they announced today that they're redoing Knights of the Old Republic, which is my absolute favorite video game and my favorite Star Wars stories, if I was being honest. So they're supposed to release it. It's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. So I may have to go on the hunt because that video game means a lot to me, that series. And it had a pretty awesome story that didn't really get told to completion because they didn't give us a full part 3. But the first game is fucking incredible. And there is one of my favorite Star Wars character in it called Bastila, and she has special force powers that nobody else has. So if anybody has a copy of the old Knights of the Republic, I suggest, or you can get it on either Xbox 360 and PS3, I'd say.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor, get that before it comes out because it's fucking worth it. So yeah.
What'd you think of Unleashed?
Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
It was fun. The other one, so Knights of the Old Republic is a role-playing game, and it's really story heavy. And it gives you like other world lore that looks like it's getting made to be canon. So right now it's not canon yet, but like XR Kun and it's a bunch of shit that's really fun, and it's like a time drain though, so you're gonna be spending hours playing that game, but it's worth it. Like that is legit a fun game.
What's the one that's head to head, but you're like, it's still Old Republic, but it's something else, right? But it's head to head, like Mortal Kombat status. Like,
oh no, there's been a few fighting games. I didn't
there
play
was
it
one that was
because
amazing. Sorry, but I feel like there was I don't know if it's Knights of the Old Republic or if it was something that there's like characters that were in the paperback books. That's what I would say before the word canon got used.
Yeah, right. There was a fighting game, and there were characters in that. I don't know the name of the game off the top of my head, but this is like straight up RPG where you have your character, you go through missions, you build up your character, so you get to be. You don't know that you're Revan in the beginning, so that's who you end up being.
Spoiler.
For a game that came out like
That
20
game's-
years ago.
Yeah.
Literally. So, but yeah, and you build up the character. The story's super good. Shit happens. It carries on to the second game, which they didn't announce that they're remaking that. But it's super fun, and that is like straight up one of my favorite video game series. So I need to get a PS5 now.
I mean, with the remake happening, it could be a one and done game where they've got the first two parts on in.
I would
that
hope so.
disc, so.
I would sure hope so.
So, and who knows? I mean, maybe it might be one of those where it takes off and everybody starts buying it again. They could make a third one. So
Yeah, I would hope so because so it didn't really finish what happened. Like you disappear, Revan, and then in the second one you disappear as the character you are in this one, and it's like, hey, there's no official part 3. There was like a massive World War playing game that was supposed to be the part 3, but it really wasn't because it didn't conclude the story that everybody was pissed off about. So yeah,
well,
give me my part 3, you sons of bitches.
do it.
Next
Our
comment.
next spot. There you go. Thank you. It was left on a short video titled "Another Mashup That Makes Me Laugh," and the comment is by Comix Alliance, and the comment says, "Anytime I see anyone going through a table, I automatically think of the Dudley Boys. LOL."
Yeah. As you should, Comics Alliance. As you should.
No one's gonna yell, Devon, get the table.
There's something here! 1, 2, 3!
You know, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go into a WWE rant, but with everything that's happening, it's like fucking A, man. I
Not
almost
on
feel
this show. There's too much to discuss.
there is, yeah, and it's kind of like the generation before me, like, oh, I like the Stan Hansen and the Bruiser Brody, and I was like, yeah, that shit was cool, but it was also really like stiff, and there was no movement, and there was no, and then now I'm like, the Attitude Era was the best, but I still love now. But anyway, yeah, that'll be a whole fucking show. Anyway,
Yeah, we don't have the time.
No,
Moving on.
'cause we don't, because that would be like another 3 or 4 hour show.
yeah, it would. Wait till I am hosting. And another thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You'll just be a little bitch and be sad because WWE sucks now, and it's like AEW is taking over, and you're like, Vince McMahon is killing it because he's old, and blah 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 blah.
So good though. It's so good because of everybody that is going to be used right. Is going to be like.
See, that's
Oh,
all right. All right, we're gonna get too far into it, but that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm not loyal to a brand. I'm loyal to the wrestler, and that's how I am. If you take me through sports and life in general.
I agree.
Moving
Got
on.
it. Moving on. Next comment. The next comment was left on, I believe this was a TikTok. Esteban, correct me if I'm wrong, where it talks about telling us what is the scariest thing that has happened to you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so the comment is from Ionelli44, and it says, "Oh hell no," with the emoji with the cross hands.
And to hear the story, check out the comment.
I know. I was about to say that. Thank you. I was like, wait, I should probably tell them to go check it out because they're like, okay, so you didn't tell us. Like, what was that about?
Our incredible co-host and Esteban handles most of that TikTok, so go ahead.
I do my best.
Matt handles that TikTok.
Two-handed
Wow.
sometimes.
Again,
Matt handles. Hey, I'm not Luis.
well, you're taking
He's
his
got a
place
good,
right
decent
now.
stroke. His
Yeah.
stroke game is good.
Ash should
And
know.
then,
Whoa.
Whoa.
oh yeah.
My kidneys are still bruised. Moving on.
Wow.
Kidneys. I could have swore last time you said your tonsils.
Wow. Well,
I
have no
was
more
like,
plaque.
okay.
Ew, I have no more flag. Wow.
God.
God, it goes too far.
Oh.
Anyway.
You always go too far.
That's what they said. So the last I have for today, it was left on another of the TikToks that our owner Seven posted, and this one was about telling us a movie that you have walked out of. And this was Heavyweight commenting and said, "What Chronicles of Riddick is a national treasure." Shaking my
It
head.
is not. It is not a national treasure. It is a piece of crap movie. The movie was garbage.
Okay, hold on. So Esteban gave us his. I'm gonna pose since it is my show. I'm gonna pose it to all of you. And before I go into the other two co-hosts today, I'm gonna give mine. So when we were younger, a group of friends, Esteban may know them, but he was not there that day. We went to go see the very, very awful Scientology movie with John Travolta. Somebody give me the name. Battlefield Earth. That
Oh,
movie
God.
That was a Scientology movie?
It was
That is like
Oh my God.
a sheer Scientology movie.
big time.
So that movie is goddamn awful, like fucking dog shit. We stood, from what I remember, we stood through the whole thing. But believe me, if I had the chance, I would have walked the fuck out of it. It sucks major dick.
Oh, it's bad.
Carmen, you have anything? Like the worst movie you ever seen or something you walked out of?
I don't remember the title of the movie. I was trying to Google it right now, but maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. I believe it came out around maybe like 2010 and 2014, maybe, perhaps. I was still working at the movie theater, and it was a movie based on a circus, and it's kind of like a haunted kind of theme of the circus, and it was supposed to be creepy, but it just got like borderline, like just it was just nonsense to where like the creepy factor was just not even creepy. Like I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? And I walked out of it. I will try to find the title of it.
It's not 1,000 Corpses, right? This is something different.
Which one?
It's not House of 1,000 Corpses, right?
No. But I get back to me and I'll try to find it, because that was the movie that I genuinely remember. I had my popcorn and like, the snacks, and I was ready. And then like 10-20 minutes within the movie, I walked out. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Do you know any of the actors in it?
No,
Okay.
I can't. I wouldn't even try to go, but let me find it.
So creepy carnival movie? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like a
All right.
circus carnival type of show that they're putting on. So yeah.
All right, Ash.
I'll find it.
Was it Oculus?
Oh, and let me see. Go ahead, Ash.
This is why I think you cheat, Esteban, during the games. You always have the fucking answer, and all we give you is like rabbit, bat, September.
Since you're the
movie.
oldest motherfucker on the show, there is fucking Google, bitch. Like you could put in words and like figure shit out. Like
What?
I swear to God, like this is a behind the scenes shit for all of us. He'll fucking literally ask us shit that he could look up at Google, but instead of fucking going to Google to ask, he'll fucking put that question on us. Or be like, I guess I'll go on Google and look it up
But
for
you
this
know why I do that,
old
though?
ass motherfucker.
Yes, I completely agree that I am old, but I do that because I ask you the question because as we're doing the show, people may have that question, so they don't have to do that. They don't have to Google. I can portray the dumb person so that we learn on the show. You know what I mean? It's like the Blue's Clues thing where he had to save all of our lives from going crazy. It's the
That
whole
was
thing.
pretty good though.
Oh, that was just straight like, oh,
And at the end, when he
Steve.
was all, "I'm proud of you, you're doing good," I was all, and I was in my 20s, and I still took it weird. That's what she said. Moving on. The only movie I've ever walked out on, I've stayed through like Marley and Me. I've stayed through fucking. This is gonna
Marley
be
and Me's
awesome.
not bad. It's just
Oh.
sick book.
What I'm trying to say is like I've stayed through movies that I thought were gonna be, or no, not Marley and Me, Dupree and Me, Dupree and I.
Dupree.
One,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say Marley and Me is soul destroying.
Oh
It
my
really
god,
is.
the end.
Mhm.
Oh, woo! I took that worse than Old Yeller. Way worse than Old
Yeah,
Yeller.
man. That is Moving on.
Moving on. Was okay. It was Grindhouse, and I was able to take Planet.
Really?
I was able to take Planet Terror because it was so ridiculous. Heads exploding, legs being machine guns. I was okay. Like, okay, this is okay, whatever. And then Death Proof, the first crash, and then knowing these girls were gonna be in the neck, I was out. And that was like with my mad crush with fucking Mary Winston. No, Elizabeth Winston.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead in a cheerleader's outfit, and I still had to walk out.
Wow.
I actually
I know.
like that movie. I
That
actually
movie
like
was good.
I actually
No,
liked the
I'm
whole
not
thing.
saying it was bad. I had to. Oh, I didn't explain why I had to walk out. I had to walk out because like the car crash part, like that shit was way too real. Like teeth breaking, and I was out.
Okay, no. Okay, so I'm gonna stop you. Like this has to be like a movie that, like, I understand in your case, like you can't stand certain horror shit or like bloods and guts.
Gore.
Like if this has to be a bad movie, you would have walked out, or just like the worst movie you've ever seen, if you didn't walk out. Like
Well,
just bad.
okay. I didn't
Not
walk
bad
out.
because you can't stand it, but bad because it's awful.
I don't have that because I have to see it once to say I saw it. I saw
Okay,
it.
so
I'm
just
never-
the worst movie you've ever seen.
Oh, fuck.
Batman and Robin.
Oh my god. I came really close to leaving Batman and Robin.
That's good. That's a good answer.
Hi Freeze, I'm Batman.
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
And him smiling during Alfred dying. I was like, what am I watching? Like he handled this guy became Batman because his parents died. His only fucking remnants of a fucking parent is dying, and he's smiling every fucking scene. I was out. I was like,
And then
but it was
the fucking Mr. Freeze's puns were terrible in that movie. Chill out.
you have to
Chill out.
understand though. I grew up on 80s movies, so there's a lot of movies that shouldn't be classics that are classics.
But yes, I don't disagree with you, sir. And there's nipples on the fucking suits. There's like actual nipples.
Mhm.
What the fuck were you thinking?
Just think of like, I'm gonna get the number wrong. Is it number 28, Jim Carrey, or is it 24, Jim Carrey?
The number 23.
Number 23. I was wrong on both accounts. But imagine that kind of a Riddler, like that in that headspace. You know what I mean? Like instead of fucking trying to make him the Joker, but not the Joker, and putting him in sparkly outfits and giving him fucking Shaka Khan hair. Like it's just you're horrible. You're bad.
I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen that movie in years. I saw it once in theaters, and I want to watch it again.
Which one?
The number 23.
Oh yeah,
God, no. I want to see that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have another question, but I'm gonna get to the next question or the next segment, and then I'll go back into my question. So we had a recommendation last week. Esteban, it fell on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it did. It was actually Carmen recommended the HBO series Success. I saw one episode.
Succession.
Succession. Thank you.
Yeah.
Succession.
I was like, wait, did we watch the wrong show?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Bro.
And he did
I mean, it
finish.
might have been. I mean, anyways.
God damn it. And it's the show without Louise. That's
I
so
know.
funny.
I saw Succession. It's really, really fucking good. Like, it is so good. I intended to watch 2 episodes. I saw the first episode though. I wanted to see a second episode, but with moving and everything, and getting our new place ready, it's been pretty crazy. But I was able to see the first episode. The first episode was fucking dope. I love the different personalities that are going on in that show. The dad, who's played by Brian Cox, he is like, anything that he's in, I will watch because he's a great actor. He's a really good actor. But to see, what is it, 3 brothers and a sister? Yeah, there's 3 brothers and a sister. Just kind of like, you see who's the one that's been around. It's just like, you know what, man, like whatever these 2 decide, like I'll go with it. Like he's over it. Like he's over it. And then there's the other son that like wants to be like dad, he wants to be just like him, but he still is scared. It's just like, and there's always that underlining thing. It's like, you want to call your dad? And it's just kind of like, the fuck? Like, no, do you want to call your, like, that scene was awesome. Because it looks like he's going to be taking over, the dad's business, but it's always one of those things where it's like, from the start, it was like, do you want to check in with dad? Like he's had that, wanting to check in and whatnot. The younger brother, who's played by, I forget his first name, but it's Macaulay Culkin's brother. He's fucking dope. He's hilarious in this movie or in this show.
I love his personality on the show.
It really is.
So
His personality is awesome because he walks into a boardroom meeting. He's like, "What's up, fuckers?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, okay." Like, it's awesome.
It's the same kid from Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Kieran? It's
Kieran.
fucking Fuller from Home Alone.
From Home Alone. Yeah, it's Fuller. Yeah.
Kieran.
Yeah. So his personality, like it's like he knows when to fuck around, but in the serious parts and which you see at the very end of the episode, like he like snaps out of like just fucking around and then being actual dead serious. There was a dick move that he did at the very end where they were playing baseball for the dad's birthday. One of the brothers had to leave because he was trying to close a deal. So he gets one of the kids, a kid there, to come in to, join and play, the game. So he tells the kid, he goes, because I guess he's on first or second base or whatever. He tells the kid, "I will give you $1 million if you hit a home run. Like that's all you gotta do. Just hit a home run. I'll give you $1 million." And everyone's just like, "Stop being a dick. Like, don't do that to him. Like, don't give him that." He's like, "No. Look." He walks over, he grabs a checkbook, he writes out $1 million. He's like, "Right here."
And these people are filthy rich, by the way. Like, filthy fucking rich.
Yeah, like insanely rich. So it's just like one of those things. And they pitch the ball, and the kid hits it. And I'm watching this. I'm like, holy fuck, the kid's going to get $1 million. He's rounding first, rounding second. And as soon as he gets to third base, they tag him out. And he goes, "You were so close." He walks up to the kid. He goes, "You were so close." He brings out the check right in front of him. He starts tearing up the check. He goes, "Good job, though. Nice try." And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what an asshole. But it's really good. And I see like the possibilities of this show. To me are endless because I see the way that one of the son's mind is working. It's just like, he was promised something and he never got it. So it's like he's trying to now he's trying to take down dad. He's trying to, overthrow him, take over his business and whatnot. But this is one that I'm in and I'm gonna finish watching the 2 seasons. So yeah, that was a good one, Carmen. Thank you.
Yay.
So that was Carmen. It's a suggestion to Esteban last time. Now it falls upon me. And last time I had Carmen do something. And Luis had me do something with the last time he did it. So that leaves me two people to pick. And since Esteban did something last week, that naturally leaves Ash. And I had two other things off the top of my head as soon as Luis suggested this little feature of the show. So, Ash, I'm going to have you watch a Fox series that I loved very much, that was short lived, that has a ton of actors that you'll recognize. I loved it very much. It's called Fringe. I hope you haven't watched it.
Casey's in that.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Will it be yes or will?
Yes, Pacey is in it, and Anna Torv is in it, and you'll recognize a Lord of the Rings character in it.
And 30 Days of Night.
Yes.
The main guy. Yeah.
No, not the
Yeah,
main
yeah,
guy. No.
Not the main vampire guy.
No. Anyways, so it's Fringe. I would suggest, yes, the show is watch the first two seasons. The show is really good. You need to watch it. It's like maybe 4 to 5 seasons off the top of my head. It's been a while since I watched. I had another show off the top of my head that's also kind of sci-fi-ish, but that is a shit ton of years. So I'm gonna save you. Just watch Fringe and see if you like it, and watch it all if you can. Eventually,
That show that you're talking about, to me, only two come into my head that are sci-fi that have had an extended period of being out there. You know, being a long show, but I'm not going to spoil it. But I think if it's one of those two, that those two shows are dope.
so you up for it, Ash?
Yes, I'm in.
Awesome. That's just the first two episodes, even though it probably won't grab you right away. So hopefully you watch more than those first two. I did not check what it's on, but since it's a Fox show, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's on Hulu. So I would
I
check
think it's
there.
Did
Yeah.
they cancel it or what's the deal with it? You don't remember?
Like it's been a while since I watched it. There maybe like 4 to 5 years, and then it just stopped.
It's on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, awesome!
Okay. Yeah, I knew I had access to it, but okay, I'm in.
Sweet.
Are there specific episodes you want me to see, or just? I can
Yeah.
start-
See, like if I throw you with some of the end episodes to like watch the ones that I really like loved,
Okay.
it won't make
So
any
I've
sense. You need to
invested-
watch. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. Fringe. Okay.
So if it doesn't grab you right away, give it a chance.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at this cast and it's a killer cast.
I enjoyed it very much. The female, the lead is Anna Torv, and you recognize her in different shit, and she's really good in it. And yes, Pacey is in it. This show is really good, so I hope you enjoy it. And if you
Remember
don't,
not being able to see like a certain show because it was on Wednesday. You're never home on Wednesday. Like, remember that kind of shit. Yeah.
Like there was a lot of shows on Fox when they would put them on Fridays, and that was like a day out with whatever girlfriend at the time. It's like, well, I can't fucking watch this show today. It's like, you sons of bitches.
They moved fucking SmackDown to Fridays. I was all, I'm out.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like when you like if you moved house on a Friday. I was like, you fuck, you know I'm not gonna fucking watch on Friday. You just fucking put the show on a Friday to let it die, you sons of bitches.
I agree.
But yes, that was a Fox show back in the day. Whenever this falls on me again, I have another one. I wasn't ready this time, but I had 3 shows up like right on the bat that I loved, that I handed to people that I think they would enjoy. So hopefully they do. The first person enjoyed it, and she said she watched it all, which that eliminates everybody else but Carmen. So good. I wasn't on when she gave her review. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah,
So-
that show, You're the Worst. It's really good. So if you guys actually no, you guys should watch it because you guys will enjoy it. It's really, really good.
It's a comedy and it's outrageous, but it has its serious moments. And if you're a nutcase like me, you'll attach yourself right to it. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on. So that was my recommendation. We're gonna go ahead and move into the shows because it's been like way late, and we spent a lot of time on the pre-show shit. And I love wrapping shows up really fast, and it looks like it's not happening tonight. So
And it's your
you-
show.
I know, but I can't interrupt when you guys are in the groove.
But it's good though because
Yay! We paid homage to Louis. See,
We did.
it's good
He'd
though
be
because
proud.
like, you're the one that wants to go on the tangent. But I say that in all respect and the way I like to do it. So it's good because usually when we go on tangents, you're like just waiting for it to end. So it's good that today you're your tangent.
I was gonna say, since you brought up the tangent part, and I made a promise that I had another film question, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into it before we get into the show. So, what is the one movie you guys like drop dead ball every time, like the worst crying session, or what you remember crying last at? I'll go ahead and start with Esteban. I'll finish up with Ash. So, Carmen, get yours ready.
Shit. The last movie I cried at.
The last movie you cried in, or what you first remember crying at, or something you remember crying at. Just anything you cried at that you could like name.
Oh God. The first one that pops into my head, I was in high school. And I took my girlfriend at the time out to the movies. And I let her pick whatever she wanted to go ahead and
Who was
see.
your girlfriend?
Huh? Who is the girlfriend? Really? You're calling me out on this shit now?
Yes, I am.
Her name was Lily and she went to Sacred Heart.
Well, how cute. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So we ended up going to the movies and I let her pick, because we had seen a movie that I had picked the last time or whatever. So it
How
was her turn to
chivalrous
pick.
of you, sir.
I tried. So she wanted to see the classic romantic movie, A Walk to Remember. Yeah. So it was one of those where it's like I'm watching the movie and I'm just kind of like, okay, like it's all right, whatever. And then when I find out that like she's sick and has cancer or whatever, or she's, I'm just like, oh my God, like what the fuck movie am I watching?
A Walk to Remember
it's
is
like-
her face.
Mandy Moore.
Yeah,
and
Mandy Moore,
Moore.
exactly.
Shane West.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the first movie that I remember, like kind of like I like my eyes, as my sister would say, my eyes started to sweat during the movie. Because I'm just like, oh my God, like she's gonna die. Like, how fucked up is that? And like he finally fell for her and blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh my God, like this is horrible. And then next thing I know, I'm like fighting it back, and I'm like, like that, and just kind of like, wow, it's hot in here and shit like that, even though they're fucking pumping AC inside of a movie theater. So there's that.
All right, Carmen, you're up.
The first time like I viscerally cried, like ugly cried, and I think I was with a group of friends, and it was like a mixed group of friends, and it was The Notebook, and I don't know why we were watching The Notebook, but besides it being a love story and a grand love story at that, it just really hit me in the feels just because my grandpa suffered from dementia, and I had a really strong bond with him, as I probably have mentioned in this podcast many a times. So that movie scarred me because I knew that's what was coming down the line, and then it just ended up playing that way, and I was in that moment when that movie was playing, and it was it was just a mess. So that's the first movie like I viscerally cried and I could not stop, like the ugly like panic cry. So that's one, and then the other one, where I didn't see it coming, where I was gonna be crying like that, was the movie I recommended to Luis to watch.
Instructions
Oh my God.
not included.
Not included.
Yes, instructions not included. Like I was not expecting to cry, especially because Eugenio Derbez is a comedian actor in a lot of Spanish television. So I just was going into it, you know, expecting to laugh, and I did. And then shit hit the fan, and I ugly cried. Like the movie stopped, and like 30 minutes later, I was still crying. Like I would just remember what had just happened, and I just cried. So those two movies forever will be imprinted with me. So yeah, those two.
Very good, Carmen. I liked your stories. Ashy boy.
Fuck, I'm just gonna admit it. I am a huge crier, but like fucking like the single tear fucking somebody threw the trash out of the fucking car cry. Like it's never like I haven't had an ugly cry.
God damn, you're old.
The closest cry I had was the Mr. Stark. Mr. Oh no, fuck that noise. But I always have. So since I don't have an ugly cry and I cry at everything, I'll give you my embarrassing cry. I cry every time at the end of Armageddon when
Don't wanna close
Yes.
my eyes because I miss you, baby.
No,
And
but
I don't
it's
want to
like
when he rips the patch off.
when Bruce Willis is like, I'll take him down, and then fucking sends up Ben Affleck, and then just tells him, take care of my daughter. Yeah, that hits me in the fucking gut every single time. And it's I don't know, man. I think it's more I think all my role models are like dudes like, oh, you can't fix your car. Like all my role models are that, and I'm not that. So then when Bruce Willis is playing that, like, and AJ's not that, like it's like, or Ben Affleck is not like that. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of a weird. I admit a lot of shit on this show. It's kind of like a weird, like
This is therapy, sir. Don't worry about it.
yeah, no, it's like I agree. Like my uncle was very like, oh, he was a carpenter. Oh, you don't work with your hands, you're gonna work in an office. You're a
Little
slut.
bitch.
And then towards the end, it would be like, like he was more like he had grandkids and blah blah blah, and he was like more with everything. And it was, but I fucking learned how to swim because he fucking picked me up by the throat and the fucking nuts, not the nuts, the shorts, and threw me in the deep end and was like, just get back to the end. So I grew up with that type of person. So when that person is about to die for you, that was like, that's why it hits me in the feels like every single time. Like it's just Bruce Willis, and I saw him on Friends like 2 minutes ago, but it's still like, oh, that scene just hit me. And then he can't fucking make it to the detonation switch. Woo! See, I'm about to cry right now. Like that scene just hits me. It's like an embarrassing. Like you cried at Armageddon. Yes.
It's okay. I understand. So I'll give mine since everybody else went. I, like Ash, am a little bitch as well. I cry at
I
a
can't
ton
see
of
it.
shit. A ton. Like, and then whoever my significant partner is at the time, they look over when there is a crying scene. Like, stop fucking looking at me, god damn it.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
But I
Oh
still
my
cry.
god. Same person.
But though I won't say it scarred me the most, but when Macaulay Culkin died in My Girl because of the stupid bees, bitch, I fucking cried so hard. And then when Beta is at the fucking funeral,
Yeah.
that
But if the Beta scene is almost, is it Beta, right? It's
Beta.
almost worse because like you don't,
Yeah.
not that you don't know he's gonna die, but it's like it's just about the bees. you know. And then when she's like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have wanted that. He wants this, or he like that's a yeah, that's a good scene to fucking that'll get me.
Yeah, and I remember like what movie theater I was at. Rest in peace, Edward Palace Theater on Atlantic and Maine.
There
It's
was
not.
two, huh? There was the
Yeah,
palace.
one on Atlantic and Maine. That's a now office building. I saw it there, and I saw that movie like fucking twice, and I cried fucking twice in the theaters. Fuck, that movie fucked me up. So,
But you know,
It's a
what was cool
great
towards the end
movie.
was whatever left Palace. Let's just say the next one was placed. The other one got it like 6 weeks later, and it was like $3 here.
yeah, because I remember being a super young boy. Like, if you're not from LA, I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is like super LA East Side, like San Gabriel Valley shit. So before the movie theater was on like Garfield and Maine, there was two Edwards, and one was like the Palace on Atlantic, and then the older one that was another Edwards, and that's where I saw like fucking Dr. Giggles at. Yeah, go look up Dr. Giggles. That's an old horror movie like that came out in 91, 92.
Is that the one with the guy that was with the big eyes and he has a
surgical cap?
Not ER. He was on the show. Is it LA Law?
No. Oh shit.
You know what I'm talking about? He has that horseshoe hair that he has.
The horseshoe hair.
Male pattern baldness.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's like a weird like U shape as I'm forming it on my own head. Fuck. Anyway, yes, I feel like it's that same person. Is it LA Law? It's something. But yeah, I haven't gotten to the show yet. I love this.
But yes, those were our like crybaby movies. We'll ask our missing co-host, and then we pose that question to you all, and probably just our number 1, 2, 3, and 4 fans will answer. But please, if you're listening to this, go ahead and send us to any one of our social medias and let us know what movie do you cry like a little bitch in. And I do not mean that in a derogatory manner. I mean that as just you're sad and mean.
You know what?
Yeah,
it is him.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's him. All right. Yes.
Yeah, he was on LA Law or he was on something.
That's Dr. Giggles. All right.
I put Dr. G and it was Dr. Green Thumb. I just made myself laugh. Sorry, Esteban, go on.
No, I was gonna say, like, to piggyback off of what Andres is saying, I think the one movie that like opened up the floodgates as far as like crying and stuff like that was probably Saving Private Ryan, because it's like I knew of war, you know, like wars and stuff, and No. It's Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
No. What I'm saying is that like that's like the one movie that like opened the floodgates about like for me for emotion and stuff like that, because it's like
when
I knew
Damon told the fucking at the cemetery and his family all around him. Is that the part? Right?
No. What it was, and like legit like freaked me out, because at the time, like when Saving Private Ryan came out, like, you know, I was like seriously debating, you know, as a kid, like, you know, am I gonna, you know, join the military or whatever and stuff like that. Not saying that that movie stopped me from doing that or joining, but it was just a part at the very beginning for D-Day. As soon as the fucking ramps came down and the bullets started flying, and I'm just like, that's fucking it. Like that's it. You know, and to see, and then when they do the whole scene where it's like there's men on the ground and stuff like that, and you know, you got dudes walking around in shock, you know, instead of picking up, there's a one scene where where one of the soldiers is in shock and he picks up his arm that was blown off instead of picking up his rifle, you know, and you know, there's dudes trying to hold in their intestines and shit, you know, throughout. Like that's the one thing I'm just like, holy fuck, like those men like legit went through like that happened, like it, you know. So that legit brought like a tear to my eye and stuff like that. And even more so during the Giovanni Ribisi scene and the Vin Diesel scene, you know, like I was just like, holy fuck, you know. Yeah, it's that. I think that was the movie that like opened the emotional floodgates for me as far as like being okay to cry in a movie, you know. But then growing up, like, you know, with a dad that's super machismo, and it's just kind of like, you don't cry, blah 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 blah, you know.
I straight up I don't I didn't have that. My dad is a pretty stoic guy, but he was never like, you don't cry at shit. But I cry at like fucking shit that I love that means like I remember like tearing up at Force Awakens and you hear the fucking music start and you see the
Oh,
crawl going
of
up
course.
and I'm like, whoa, like, and I was like happy tears and I'm like
That's
not
cool,
trying to
man.
cry and I'm like fucking what, that was like 2016, 2015. I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
already in my 30s. So I was like, I don't I don't care. Like I am an
Or
emotional person. I
when the
like to talk shit
character
and
all of a
stuff, but
sudden
I'm soft as
goes back
fuck
to
too. It
baby, or
happens.
yeah, or
Mhm.
they're like a Zandu, not Xanadu. Fucking what's his name? Fucking in Guardians 1, Zandu,
Yondu.
Yondu,
Yondu.
bitch.
Yondu.
The
Mary
Mary
Poppins, bitch.
Poppins, y'all.
the way that he starts out and then where he ends up, like, that's my
Oh,
boy.
for sure.
Yeah, right. What? Like, fuck. Had you been that the whole time? But then again, fucking, Peter Quill wouldn't have been the guy he was by
Right.
the.
If it wasn't
You know
for
what I
him.
mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
but
get.
that's what I'm saying. It's just one of those
That's
things where it's like, for me growing up, it's like I was taught to push that shit down and not be emotional and not cry or whatever. So it's been
uh,
rough.
and I
It's
understand that.
it's
I
been rough. Yeah.
so being raised, I was never taught. My dad's a stoic guy. He is a man's man. He Let me give him some background. My father was a machinist, and he was the type of guy that was a boxer in Mexico growing up. He moved to the States because my we had a shit ton of family, and he moved like he put aside his dreams of going to college in Mexico and moved up to the States so he could work and send money back to his family at home. So he continued to box. He became a machinist. Like there was stories that like my dad cut off his fingers at work, went to the hospital, had it stitched back. He was a boxer. Like he's a fucking man's man. He never
Mhm.
once like he told me he wasn't scared to show his emotions to me. Like he told me he loved me. And I'm a little bitch when it comes to movies. I don't care. But I
Mm.
also, as like any of you guys could attest, if you like push buttons to me, it's like I will fucking go. So I'm not scared to have both sides of me. There's a duality in all of us that we have, whether you're soft on one side and you're
Hey,
hard on the other,
nope.
or you're a fucking evil and good. We're human beings.
Andreas,
You could full show
wait,
your spectrum.
can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
You ever been you're about to fight and you're about to cry, but like it's because you know you're gonna fuck the shit out of the person,
Oh,
and not in a good
Oh
way.
yeah.
oh, I've been there.
Like
Believe me, I could.
it's like, why are you crying, bitch? It's like because you have no
It's like because
idea
you're
how
gonna
far.
die. It's like because
Yeah,
you're
like
gonna fucking die.
no fucking clue
It's
where
like
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go.
step on your fucking skull when you're on the floor. It's like yeah, I get there.
Yeah,
So there's
that's
both emotions. So it's like it's like we could be soft and strong at the same time. It's like it's okay. There's no need to be like yeah, I get what you're saying, Esteban, and it's okay
Mm.
that you have emotions, and it's okay if
Yeah.
we all have emotions. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't. You always have
Right.
to be strong and silent and take your
For
shit.
sure.
You could be soft as well, and it's okay
No, yeah,
for
absolutely.
for,
But
for everyone. That's no, and I understand what you're saying. That's how you were raised,
yeah.
and it was difficult. But for everybody else, you are valid if you have a full range of emotions, and it's okay.
Right. No, of course, I completely agree with you. But I'm not saying that, like, what I'm not trying to allude to is that, like, I had a shit
Of
childhood or
course,
like a rough
man.
childhood. You know,
Yeah,
it was just
nobody
one of
thought
those
that.
things that Right. No. I'm just saying. But it's just one of those things where it's just like as I grew up and got older, and as my dad got older, he turned into that very, stoic person, that he is now, being who he was as I was growing up, being, now ex law enforcement, that's something that I grew up with. So he had to be, hard and, not taking shit from anybody and, having my dad having that mindset that the person next to you can possibly do something to you or hurt you or something like that, so I've always been, constantly watching and on my guard and stuff like that. And seeing how I am now, it's like I'm trying to be the complete opposite with my two kids, with my sons, not being super hard on them and stuff like
But
that.
also not in a way where you're judging how you're following. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's understanding of his position and understanding where you're at and trying to incorporate both. It's totally understandable.
Yeah. So that, I think that's why it's like, for me, it's like the whole floodgates now, like why now I'm extremely emotional, when it comes down to watching certain things or, listening to certain things, listening to certain musics and songs and stuff like that, like why I'm emotional now. I'm like super emotional with certain things. And it's just kind of like one of those things where I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is happening to me? Like, this isn't me, like, but it's just,
But it is you, sir, and it's okay.
yeah, no, absolutely. And it is okay. So,
But two, like, okay, one, no, two, and then one. But
What?
just the visit that I had, like the 5 stories he had were the most horrific stories I've ever heard in my life. And he's raising somebody. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and then now he's not. So, like, now, like, clearly, like, Gilbert is not going to have the same fucking relationship that you had with him. You know what I mean? Because he's already instilled like this could be like a fucked up world, But yeah, so I it's
right.
everybody
No,
has,
yeah.
But also, he's not in his line of work, and he's a grandfather. So it's like you could also only show the love side and don't have to deal with that other.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's more
reason.
so.
There's always a
Right.
reason, as always. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He
the
called
way
me. God damn, I'm Zach on the show.
This is Z Freeman 311.
He called me like I met him at Comic-Con because that was our first like real like we first friendship thing. And he was like, "Hey mijo," and I was all, "Whatever, I'm in." Like you called me mijo, like, "What's up, dad?" Like, I'm fucking A. Like, yeah. And it was like, yeah, now we're gonna go check out She-Ra. All right, cool. We're gonna go do this and we're gonna go do that. Like, whatever, dad, let's go.
I love you, Dad.
Like, just like it was kind of one of those,
Right.
like, it wasn't like fuck up,
See,
son. Like, it wasn't like that.
Like, this is what I always say. Like, you always hope to raise the next generation better than the previous. And that doesn't necessarily mean the previous was bad. It's just that you strive for better.
And they also dealt with
fine.
stuff
Yes, of
during
course.
their
Right.
time.
They deal with different. So you, like, not saying that Seven had a bad childhood growing up, but he hopes for
Right.
better.
No.
No, yeah, absolutely. And just like you were saying on this, like he's not in that line of work anymore, so he doesn't have to be,
On
hard
guard
and tough
or
and
exactly.
constantly on guard. So it's like the way I see it is that now my dad can be that loving grandfather to my kids, but now it's my responsibility to show my boys what kind of world is out there, but not being hard and tough. And it's just like, no, like, yeah, there's people out there that are cool and there's people out there that are weird and there's people out there that are gonna try to do shit to you. So that's just it. It's just it. And I think that's why growing up is where I lost myself a lot in movies and music and stuff like that. And I focused and honed in on that kind of stuff, and turned out to be the nerd that I am today, is, constantly watching this stuff and having that escape. So,
And I think that goes for a lot of us, where it's not necessarily an escape per se, but it's also somebody else putting a certain emotion out, and you see yourself in that, or they're like, fuck yeah, they're expressing what I feel.
Mhm.
So that's why
Yeah.
certain people attach themselves to certain shit. That's certainly understandable. It's like, yes, at that time we may not be mature enough or in touch with our emotions or feelings where we could put out what we feel, and this person did so in either music or movie form, and that's why we gravitate to certain shit.
Absolutely.
And that's good. That's how we grow as adults, and where we have our likes or dislikes, and we revolve around certain things.
Mhm.
So
Back to you, Andres.
we got super deep, and we're like fucking an hour into the show, and we haven't really even started. So we're gonna rifle through shit.
Really
do
haven't
it.
got
Hey, hold
Like
on.
we-
I don't mean to interrupt you again, but I found the movie that I was talking about. So
Oh,
I'll
go for
super quick. It was actually I had the year wrong. It was in 2007.
Oh, she froze.
Oh, Dr. Giggles was in LA Law. That's the 80s thing that I was talking about.
yeah. And LA Law was before fucking Law and Order, so that was
Yeah.
dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. What was the fucking
But that
David
thing,
Wolf?
like,
Dave
I
Wolf?
swear, like, you know,
Dick
it was
Wolf.
like
Dick Wolf. Thank you, Esteban.
Yeah.
Dick Wolf.
That's the executive producer.
Oh yeah, fucking yeah, dun 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 dun. Yeah.
That's why he
Wolf.
did the dun 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 dun, Dick.
Wolf.
So we're just trying to buy time for Carmen.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No.
Netflix reveals the title of the first live action episode of One Piece. What do you guys think?
I was never into One Piece growing up. And I think for me it was hard for me to get into anime, growing up. So it's like I'll watch anime here and there, but I was not into One Piece at all. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Ash, have anything to say about One Piece? Yeah, see,
Yeah, if
and
you tell me Death Note is awesome and it's not the anime, like I can't, I don't know. If I'm taught, I just can't get into. I get into the anime that's not anime. Like it's taken from anime because that's the structure, the
so
the
like
anime.
Invincible.
But when it gets, Invincible's amazing to me. But when it gets all fucking like you and I are dealing with something serious, and the character goes, "Ah," and then there's a little teardrop or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I can't. I'm out.
I understand.
I get it.
So the perfect person to ask this would be Luis, since he's our anime resident expert, but he's not
Right.
on this episode. So I watched
What is
Animal.
One Piece, or is it? Since it's a remake or a reboot or whatever, this is
It's going to be the live action, so it's going to be a
I
live
see.
series of that anime.
Yeah.
It's like a pirate anime, isn't it? Something
yeah,
like that.
kind of, exactly. Like sometimes you'll see like certain decals on cars driving by where like, oh, that's a One Piece decal.
Yeah,
but I've
like
never.
I'm familiar with the logo,
Yes,
but
that's what I'm talking about. The
Yeah.
crossbones with the.
with the skull and that straw hat or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Carmen, we're talking about One Piece live action series. Do you have anything to say?
No, I do not.
Yes, don't worry. We all didn't have anything to say, but that's coming. It's on Netflix. If Luis was here, he would go into a tangent, but since he's not, fuck y'all. We're moving on. So next thing we're gonna. Oh, Carmen, did you have before you froze on us? You had something to say about the movie and the year, by the way.
Yeah, it was 2007, so I got the year wrong, and the movie was called Freak Show. And
Sorry.
I walked out of that movie. It is a horror film. No, I couldn't tell you what the rest of the movie was about, but I know I walked out.
Who comes out of
I
it?
Hold on. I pulled it up.
The cover is just a skull looking at you, right? Like they have a skull looking at you.
No, they kind of look like it's a band of like misfits, and they're like the circus is behind them. I'm sure we'll put the image on the screen. But let's see. It stars Christopher Adamson, Rebecca Koshan, Dane Rosalie. Yeah. So
Do not know a single one of those actors. I'm sorry.
it has like a 1.5 star. So
Holy
that
shit.
should tell you a lot about the movie. So it's supposed to be a group of criminals that hide out in like a traveling circus, and shit goes wrong. But it's
You
just
mean
like,
regular
it's,
carnies? Carnies. They're called
yeah, like carnies.
Carnies.
What?
Circus folk. Nomads, you know. Smell like cabbage. Small hands.
Carnies.
Yeah.
And
So I don't know. That was the movie that I walked out of. You see by the ratings, it's not such a great movie. So blah.
it's on
That
Amazon.
sounds terrible.
It was. So
All
moving
right,
on.
So we'll go into the next topic. The next topic is there was images. There was
Sorry,
images that came out of the new suit for Aquaman for the next Aquaman movie. It's called the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I said last. Did you guys see the image, and what are your guys' thoughts? Ash, go for it.
That was the blue suit, right?
It was the old school. It looks more like the comics original one.
The only one I saw was the blue suit. That's the only image that I saw that was the new. I saw that was the suit.
I think it's like a dark black, or is it maybe dark blue, like a navy blue?
Something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
I'm good. Like it's just for them to come out with another figure. Cool. I
More
hope it has
toys.
something- yeah, I hope it has something like like Iron Man knows I need fucking help me with the name before that. I need number 43.
Mark, whatever.
Yeah.
I know this one is the one that I could put on my bracelet. Like
Mhm.
those were always cool. Like I need fucking the Hulkbuster.
Beat me to it.
Hulkbuster. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was always cool like that. Like as long as it's just not Batman snow fucking. There was Batman figures that were snow camouflage. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. In
So-
like the 90s, they were so many specialty suits.
right? And there was a yellow one. Like as long as it's just for you to not come out with the figure, so you can make another fucking $10.
I was like,
Cool.
hey, bitch, give me all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still
Steva,
want Castle
you,
Grayskull at a fucking 43. And a Snoopy
Esteban-
Soko. We're going through a whole
Esteban,
bunch.
you Aquaman suit. Go for it.
It looks cool. It looks like James Wan's going in a different direction. I think it is pulling from some of the newer comic books as far as his suit goes. Because I know, I think I'm sure I can find it and I'll send it to everyone, and I'm sure Ash will probably, or Luis can probably put it, here in the video. But it shows like a screenshot of like it compares Aquaman and the suits that he's worn in the movies that he's been in compared to in the comics. So it looks like they're being semi, comic book accurate. I thought that at the very end of the first Aquaman with the bright gold and green, that was fucking dope. Like that was awesome. I wanted to see more of that, even though we only got
And
half an hour of him in that suit. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. So I'm stoked about it.
Herman,
I mean, it's Jason Momoa, so he could wear either the suit or no suit, and it's fine with me.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so here we have where she's going to liquor stores and is buying
Oh
three.
my god.
And then now she's Michael. It's not even about Michael B. Jordan anymore. It's like Now,
I'm sorry. I appreciate the beauty of men.
To be fair to
Robot.
Carmen, she's not the only whore dog on the show. I talk about girls that I have crushes on too.
oh, absolutely no. You've
That's
talked.
too
We all
hard.
talk about man crushes. We're we're the full spectrum. We're good.
But the suit, I mean, I like the gold and the teal or green, whatever color you want to call it. This one, it's I don't know if it's comic book accurate or not. It reminds me a little bit of like
X-Men
I don't want to
when they
say
wore their black X-Men suit.
yeah, or like
Maybe
a
camouflage.
Batman suit, like it's dark and like it's trying to emit like a dark emotion or just like where I don't know. But I mean I'll guess I'll see the movie and see if whatever. I'm
It could
still gonna like over him, so
it could be like too, like fucking Tony Stark gave Peter Parker suits. Like it could be fucking Batsy gave this to me because it'll camouflage me in the sea. Like you never know.
Yes,
Dude.
we do not know. Looks cool. I'm willing to watch. Moving on. It's just much to do about nothing in my eyes. Cool. We get a new suit. Awesome.
Keanu movie.
So next we're gonna talk about they moved up Venom Let There Be Carnage a couple weeks. And this was news after they had told us they pushed it back. So I don't know what's going on. We're getting it sooner than what they said the last time, so that's cool. Carmen, what do you think?
Moving the dates doesn't affect me wanting to watch it or not wanting to watch it. I do want to. It's kind of intriguing of like why the dates are being moved. But other than that, I'm gonna watch it no matter what. I wonder if it had to do anything with like the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and like the way that one of them was perceived. Obviously, Spider-Man receives a lot more views and a lot more anticipation for it than Venom. I'm not saying, well, I mean, clearly by the views, you can tell one has more following than the other. But again, it won't affect me watching it. I'll watch it, and I mean, I'm on board. What can I say?
Sweet Ash, go for it.
One has a bigger following because now we're getting whoever your Spider-Man is. It's the same reason that why like I'm gonna love the new Flash. You're not disregarding Keaton. It's just a different world. It's just a different whatever. Everybody's Batman's valid. Everybody's Spider-Man's gonna be valid. And it's not like a fucking whatever. Venom is probably gonna be the first time I go back to a movie theater. So if you're my friend, hit me up because that's probably going to be the first time I'm going to be at a movie theater, and I don't really want to go. I don't know. I'm still in like I'm not coming out of a cave, but I don't still want to sit right next to somebody. But anyway,
You don't. I've been to 2 movies since COVID. They give you space, so you'll be if you go with somebody, you'll sit next to that someone. But
okay,
they'll give you like the seat next to you alone. So they limit the people they have in the theater.
That was
So
not
you'll
the
have your
case for
space.
Shang-Chi.
You what?
I went to the movie theater for Shang-Chi because I thought, as previous movies I had seen in movie theaters, it was going to be the same where they do give you the space. I don't know if it was because it was the IMAX showing or what, but it was packed and it was like the no between people at all, and to the point where I felt uncomfortable. So I had my mask on the whole time, like vaccinated, like I just for precaution. It just made me really nervous. So I don't know, like if because these movies, have a following and they pull a lot of people. That was the case, or just because it was IMAX. But I mean, I don't know if they will be the same case for Venom, but I don't know. Just be careful, guys. Just whenever you go,
I saw Candyman in Orange County, which is a little bit more open than LA County, and I only saw it there because at that showing they had seats available for two, and then a couple we went out with, and I had the seat next to me vacant and the seat next to my partner vacant. So I guess it
I
depends
guess
on the
it just
showing. Yeah,
depends.
yeah.
But Tom Holland and Tom Hardy could be in the same world. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of cool. And it's better than trying to fucking move it to 2023 because you don't think it's gonna work out and blah blah blah, and it f's up any kind of timeline. So I don't know. I'm happy that it moved up because it's one of the movies that's gonna move me out of my fucking comfort zone. Because if not, I was probably gonna wait till Resurrections to go see in the theater.
Which we'll talk about later. Esteban, go for it.
I think the only reason why they moved it up to October is because they saw the success for Shang-Chi. I think that's the only reason why, is that they ended up moving it up to October because they saw that a movie can be successful during the pandemic. I think Shang-Chi closed for the Labor Day weekend at like $91 million. I think that was just US box office. So I think that's the only reason why, like, yeah, it was previously pushed to, I think it was like January of next year, and now it's being pulled back to the first week of October. So they saw, and I think that's what a lot of these movie theaters are now leaning towards, except for obviously the Warner Brother ones where they've already promised both HBO Max and theaters that they're going to go ahead and that movie Shang-Chi was going to be, essentially the guinea pig for this entire, COVID thing, for people to go back to the movie theaters. So, I mean, I think it's cool, but again, just like Carmen said, like, if you guys are going to go, just be safe. If you guys don't feel comfortable, wear your mask, but yeah.
Awesome. Hey, there I am. Awesome. Next bit of news is Zachary Levi, so that he is interested in playing Mr. Fantastic.
She call me Mr. Bombastic, send me fantastic.
Now, I'll go ahead and go first before I send it to you guys. Before when this was posted, so behind the scenes stuff, we have a Instagram group chat that will post stuff that's relevant to the show, and we'll give our thoughts on it. And then more than likely, I'll end up the show. And I said, "Hey, bitch, relax. You're already fucking Shazam. So chill, bro." What do you guys think? Carmen, go for it.
I mean, I still want the role to go to John Krasinski, so but I wouldn't mind if he tried to go over to the Marvel universe, especially for Fantastic Four. So, would I want it? No, but if they're gonna give it to me, I guess I'll take it.
That's what she said.
And okay, let's just move on because I heard how that sounded, and let's just next person, please.
Stellan, go ahead.
Honestly, at this point, as far as fan casting, again, I'm right there with Carmen. I would definitely love John Krasinski to take the role of Richard Reed and Emily Blunt to be Sue Storm. Yeah, I think that'd be perfect and phenomenal casting. But obviously, they both have said and been pretty vocal. Well, especially Emily Blunt has been very vocal about, them not having any talks whatsoever in regards to the Fantastic Four. So I'm stoked about it. So we'll see.
Ash, go for it.
One, you never know. I mean, and it very, very well might be true. Andrew Garfield is still saying that he's not part of, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we never know.
there was an article this week that Andrew Garfield was once again denying coming out in
No Way Home.
Spider-Verse. Yeah, one No Way Home.
So I'm hoping it's that, but like, it's not because one is tall and the other is blonde. It's more because Emily Blunt is a great actress, and John Krasinski, I feel can give, because we know him as Jim, he can give it more heart than Mr. Fantastic is known for. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Instead
he's
of
a
making
character-
just the brain,
he's a
you
character-
give him a full
he's a
depth.
character actor. He's a character actor that happens to be a leading man, as opposed to a leading man who gives you, this is what I'm gonna give you. I'm good looking, and this is as far as I go, but I'm gonna build a franchise. He's more of a character actor that is a leading man and can give you fucking the spectrum.
Like he
And-
has depth.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
depth to him.
Yeah. So I think it would be amazing. Even if it's just John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, I'd be happy, and then whatever you're gonna give us for everybody else. But it's a fan casting that's taken off, where it's like I'm gonna give another wrestling reference. It's we're building towards this so the good guy could win, and then you're gonna give us WrestleMania so that the good guy could win, and then you're upset because it was all set up for the good guy to win and the bad guy fucking still wins. Like, it's like we all know that's where we're going, but that could be the swerve, is it might be one of them and not both of them.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
But
Awesome.
if John,
I
hopefully, I'm more for John Krasinski than for Emily Blunt, in that's who I know. But she
awesomeness.
did win me over in the Jungle Cruise interviews. I know. I don't wait for you to almost talk. See,
No
Carmen,
worries. I wasn't laughing at that. No worries. I swear.
But the playfulness of her and The Rock for Jungle Cruise interviews, like, at the same, yeah, personality that wins. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesomeness. So we'll move on to the next topic. All right. Since you had mentioned, I had it in a different order, but since you mentioned Matrix Resurrections, the trailer came out today. Was it today?
Yes.
Today the 9th. Today's the 9th. I don't know when you guys are listening to this, but today's the 9th. Trailer came out. What are your guys' thoughts, Esteban?
I'm fucking stoked for this movie.
Oh, we're talking about Matrix Resurrections. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked for this movie. I really am. And I think when I saw it, like, at first, I had to watch the trailer twice in order to kind of like understand. But watching it around the second time, it like a lot of the stuff started to click from the second movie, or from was it the second movie? I think it was the second movie. Was Reloaded the one where Trinity is falling and Neo had to save her? Is that the second one, or was that the third one? No, that was the second one, where she jumped out. When she jumped out of the building and Neo tried to save her because he was talking to the creator.
Okay, yeah. Like, you're gonna cost everything if you fucking go try to save her.
Right.
Kind of.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So when I saw, and I'm completely geeking out over this, okay, because it's like, I don't know where it's going to go, but they're already hinting that in Revolution, the little Indian girl that he meets at the subway, she is supposed to be the new Oracle in this movie. Okay, so that threw me for a loop. Number one. Number two, when I first saw the trailer, the part where he's talking to the creator, and the creator said, "Oh, your previous predecessors, So obviously they had introduced that this is not the first iteration of the Matrix. So obviously we're going back to the Matrix as a new iteration. So this is a new Neo that is going to be dealing with the Matrix. But it seems like this Neo still has a better understanding of it than the first time that we met Neo in the first movie. So I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. I know it comes out in December. I can't wait for this movie to come out. I just want to go watch the other three again. And I know a lot of people don't like Matrix Revolutions. A lot of people don't like it, but I dug it. I dug that entire trilogy along with the Animatrix.
I just don't think they like the I'm going to sacrifice myself to the Matrix for, you know what I mean, like the whole little, and then
right
the Bible, no, the Jesus Christ part of it. But then they really doubled down with the resurrection. But it fits in with all of them being the R's. Fucking Reloaded. What's the other one? Revolution.
Revolutions.
Yeah. Not that because I thought it was sorry. I know we're not going in order. I thought
Go ahead.
the fighting all the Smiths was almost like a prelude to when all of them just leave them the fuck alone. And it's this Mr. Smith that's I am supposed to beat you.
Right.
This is the Mr. Smith that's supposed to beat you. Because we've already done all of the Mr. Smiths. And to me, that was amazing. It doesn't hold up now because we see all the little glitches and all the little where you can tell it's a stand-in and not, and all the little whatever. But the idea is there, which was amazing because like it's almost like when Superman fights in the new Superman, and they're going through scenes and they're going through. I was almost feeling like I'm watching the same movie that I saw in The Matrix, but I feel like this movie is built to fix the third movie. Like we're going to make that acceptable because this is what we were trying for.
I don't know, man. I feel like we're getting another set of trilogies.
We might. I do like the whole Trinity doesn't know, like, do I know you? But when she touches him, she knows him. So there's little like cool, like I can't wait to see it. And I feel like the long hair and beard endear us to John Wick, Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, and then the whole little, like, I don't know what's happening, but I do aspect of it. I don't know. It's cool. Like, and then like almost like I'm watching it this, and I can choose to make it this.
Right.
Number, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it could be a whole new trilogy, but you never want to call it the good trilogy and the bad trilogy. Like some people don't like fucking Empire trilogy, and my favorite is fucking Return, and other people's is Empire. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just don't want to make it the good trilogy, bad trilogy. Just I hope it's just gonna be good, and I hope it does just salvage everything that people were not happy with in the third one.
So I have not watched The Matrix
Really?
until this weekend.
Any of them?
Yeah, no.
Really?
I had not. It was one of the movies on my list, and I don't know. I just never got around to watch it. I never watched it in theaters. I have heard a lot about it. I have had conversations with my boyfriend, and he made me promise that we would watch it together, and we finally did this weekend.
Nice.
You know, like had like the marathon, the pizza, and like just did that whole thing. So
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll give you my reaction to the first movie because and this is accurately like I just looked over at him and I'm like, okay, you need to explain because there's a lot of things that I have questions and they're not answered and I like need answers now. And that's just me with any movie. Like if they don't answer the question, I get annoyed because I need to know the answer.
But there's more
that's
parts.
just my personality. True. So he's like, can you just wait till the next movie plays? Like all your questions will be answered. And I'm like, no, we're not playing the movie until you answer my questions. And so like this was an argument that happened. And then like we finally played the movie, the second movie and the third movie. And so I'm a fan. I'm truly a fan. I quite enjoyed all of them. The third one is all right, seeing this trailer, I think I share most of your guys' thoughts. Where like it's really cool because it's like it seems that they kind of it's like Ash was saying, they don't know each other, but they do when they touch, and like we're getting those flashbacks of like perhaps the that were there. I don't know. So I am excited for it. And especially since I just watched the last three and it's fresh in my mind. So it's pretty exciting for me. And I like Keanu with his beard. And yes, that's another man crush. Whoa! And you can all make fun of me for it. So it's cool.
I'm not making fun of you. I think I'm starting to pinpoint your style.
I think we all have the same man crush, so no worries.
That's also
the like bearded fellows.
So Trinity's not going to be Trinity, but later on in the trailer, Trinity
is.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, oh, how are you going to make this make sense? Like
it's kind of like when you watch the previous, it's like this happened before and it'll happen again, and maybe the consciousness will carry over.
It's almost like when Trinity knows, like, I'm putting my absolute everything into Morpheus, that he's going to be the one, and I'm training you. Like, it might be the reverse in this trilogy, if it is, that Neo is training Trinity. You know what I mean? But Trinity kind of seemed already, like, in the trailer, like, I'm already fucking people up.
And they were, the actress playing the Oracle was a reference to the third little Indian girl in that one, and she's Oracle, and it's supposed to be Priyanka Chopra, which is pretty cool.
But they kind of set that up too, because remember the original kind of passed away between 2 and 3, so they kind of already set it up that Oracle could be anybody.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace her, but they kind of storyline wise.
Yeah, of course. So yes, we all are very excited to see it, and I think I am more jealous of Carmen since she just watched him recently and has less of a time to wait to get back into the series than we all have who saw it when it first came out.
And you know what? Actually, like, yeah, and that's what I was gonna make a comment on, like the special effects and the way the movie was done. Like, it has aged very well. Like, I know sometimes like the CGI takes you out of a movie, or you're like, oh, that's pretty dated, but it was like. I would consider it a low budget if it was done now, you know what I mean? But like where it's not noticeable, like obviously it was not low budget and it's not a low budget movie, but just the way that the CGI aged, like I don't mind it because it doesn't take me out of the movie. It's still pretty good. So I give all like my hats off to this movie, and I can't believe I waited this long to watch it. And so yeah.
So we are all very happy that you finally knocked that off your must-watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man because of we've always seen the Batman climbing the rope, which we all know they're on the side of a building. But this was like
with Robin.
You're looking through his eyes. You're looking through Spider-Man's eyes. of him swinging. Like this is a whole new aspect. You know what I mean? Like what she's what
No,
Carmen's saying.
because here I thought we were talking about the Matrix,
No.
and now all of a sudden
No,
we went from
I'm-
talking to Batman to Spider-Man, and I'm like
saying special
totally
effects.
lost.
Special effects wise, it was a whole new
Oh,
way
I got you.
to look at a movie.
I was just fucking around. Sorry, I apologize.
Also,
That's
the
like,
bulge on Andrew Garfield is a lot bigger than. I'm just kidding.
Did you say bulge?
He said
Moving
bulge.
on. Moving on. So from the three of them, you think Andrew Garfield has a bigger bulge, huh?
I like that you said moving on, and then went back into the thing we just talked about.
Sorry,
No,
I just thought
I
about
don't-
something to get
But
you
I
at.
think he's playing the game.
have we had this conversation of who our Spider-Man is out of the three?
I think
we
so.
already? Yeah,
I think
I don't-
so.
Oh,
I don't remember, but this is a pretty interesting conversation because I just was talking to my sister and she just, as I said, watched all the Marvel movies and now she's like watching the Spider-Man. And so like kids in her generation prefer Andrew Garfield. And I was like, really? I like Tobey Maguire better. Tom Holland.
I have to agree with your
so-
little sister. Sorry, pal.
Really?
Only because I feel like he wasn't given a fair shake, and I loved his first appearance. That second one doesn't count because it was rushed. But I guess I could say the same thing about Tobey Maguire's third. But that
Yeah.
movie is just dog shit, and there's so much silly bullshit in it and bad casting. Not Bryce Dallas Howard, but Topher Grace. So that's why I say Andrew Garfield's first appearance was spot on. But go ahead. Anybody else?
I agree with you. As far as Andrew Garfield's first film, as far as being Peter Parker, I think he's
sorry for
probably
interrupting,
the.
but also fucking Tobey Maguire was like in his 30s when he was playing a fucking 16 to 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So
I think I have a bit of nostalgia for Tobey Maguire only because that was like my first Spider-Man, you know. So I have that nostalgia factor for him. But as far as like comic book accuracy, Andrew Garfield hit the nail on the head. Like that was the sarcastic Peter Parker, you know. So yeah, that was it. Like you can kind of see it as Tobey Maguire was the Spider-Man of the 60s, where he's very like the super nerd and stuff like that. Andrew Garfield was the Spider-Man of, I think, what was it when he was reimagined again? I forget which, in what era it was. It was like, I think the late 90s, early 2000s, where he was like that super sarcastic, you know, Peter Parker and had his quips and stuff like that. So it kind of fit for him. So I do agree with Andres as far as the Amazing Spider-Man was a great film and was, but the nostalgia factor for me would be Tobey. So for me, it would be Tobey
Ash.
over.
For me, it'd be Toby 1 and 2, and I think I've already discussed this because like part 1 had like fucking 9 action parts, and part 2,
Because you're old.
you know, we discuss this, and then part 2, like when he's fucking holding the fucking subway, like he's just a kid, like there. And then we were dealing with 9/11. There was a lot of nostalgia, like in that. And then I think there's part 1 when he's hanging from his web, and then he's getting fucking his ass beat. He's hanging from the bridge. Yeah, like that's, I don't know. There's a lot of like, being that I'm old, again, that we've discussed, I'm used to 80s prosthetics, and these were like 90s and 2000 and on. Like people were learning how to make it look real, and technology had gotten a lot better. CGI better in some things and worse in not. Sometimes prosthetics are a lot better, but that's a different conversation. Tobey Maguire is going to be my Spider-Man because of, but Tom Holland is now my Spider-Man in that he's the most true Spider-Man. Like, I don't know what's happening and I'm doing this. And then like, he can make lines where he said like, "Hey, Pumpkinhead," to somebody and make it sound like how Spider-Man would say it. In that,
I think he's the more like, I agree with what you're saying. I think he is the more accurate and like perfect version for it, because he looks young and he's playing like Spider-Man, just getting his powers and growing up as a person, as a
dealing with
superhero.
life and dealing with like life is still way more important than being Spider-Man. And like, like it's but that's two Spider-Man to get it wrong, to get it right. Does that make sense? Yeah. But you have everybody's love of that to get it right. So, but I don't know, each one of them have been my Spider-Man. But again, like as Stefan said, like nostalgic wise, and like you got to look through Spider-Man's eyes. And it was like the first time, other than Batman, Nicholson and Keaton, like that are people are taking it fucking serious. It's a serious story. It's not like I'm gonna go do fucking Hamlet and then I'm gonna go do fucking Superman and then come back into something else that's Shakespeare. Like there's somebody that's gonna like, I'm an actor making it legit.
I kind of feel that was a jab at Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen was along with fucking Anthony Hopkins that are making it legit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is I think that was a jab at Ian McKellen. It's like I'm gonna do X-Men, and I'm gonna go do Shakespeare, and then Hamlet, and then come back and do X-Men again.
There's other people that are doing it for the paycheck. Like, I don't want to throw out any, like Scarlett Johansson. You would never expect I'm going to make this a legit thing. No, that's a bad act. That's a bad act because
that's a bad pick.
Yeah, because
that's a
really bad pick.
With Bruce, it's one of my favorite movies. I can't. Life in Transition. Life in Translation.
Life of Pi.
No.
I know.
The Tiger. Life in Translation. It's one of my favorite movies.
Translation.
Lost in Translation. You had me say life for 12 times.
With Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray.
People that kind of take it for the paycheck and just like Samuel Jackson, you would never expect, but like he fucking takes it serious. But it's the same thing as he's gonna do with fucking a Quentin Tarantino movie. He just attacks everything as an actor, and
still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
Or Dolph Lundgren. Let's make it Dolph Lundgren. He didn't attack
Warzone
differently than he attacked. He didn't attack He-Man differently than he attacked Punisher. It was
Thomas. So you like the Thomas Jane version of the Punisher better than Ray Stevenson's version?
Not better. It was different. It was more of a.
It was different, yeah, because he's not the Punisher. Yeah, that was like straight PG, where the one was like R.
I'm dealing with fucking Dolph Lundgren into Thomas Jane, so it's a different experience.
Yes, for sure.
The fucking breaking the fucking yeah, I understand. That's more Punisher, but my Punisher now is fucking Bernthal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like fucking has the range, has everything. Like, but Ray Stevenson didn't have the range.
Right.
The fucking brutality. It just didn't have the. I don't get that you're Family Guy. I just feel like you just want to kill people.
I gotcha. Totally understood. All right, we'll move on to the next trailer. The next trailer we're going to go into is Midnight.
far into this. I'm sorry.
You're all right. Thanks for interrupting, though. I'm trying to clear this up.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Soft kill.
So you're gonna get into this one since you spoke last. So what are your thoughts on the Midnight Mass trailer?
Well, being
I
that you
s-
want me to watch it,
I sent it specifically to you in the group thread.
no.
So for those who don't know, this is going to be a Netflix series.
Yeah.
It's going to be from the creator of Haunting at Hill House and Bly Manor. It's Mike Flanagan. So go for it.
It got weird because in the trailer, it was like a Get Out situation in that everything's fine. This priest shows up. Nobody knows what's happening. And I was kind of like, it's him. But at the same time, I don't know, it got real weird. It's something I won't watch. And at the end, like, they're about to accept everything that's about to happen. And there's a burning fucking church behind her. And there's people that look like they're going to go into the fucking church. And I was like, oh, this is not me at all. Like this, like that's going to stay with me forever. I'm the guy that talked to you about Bruce Willis going in, like, and sacrificing himself in Armageddon. I'm not the guy that's going to deal with like a couple willing to go into a burning church for religion. I'm all set. Everything about this, I'm all set. But I do like that none of it, like, which we're going to talk about, One Night in Soho. No, it's a One Night in Bangkok.
Yes, you got it.
It's different. Like, that gave you more like scary. And this trailer kind of gave you more of like, I'm just a regular guy. You guys like tuna? Like, it's just, and then it was kind of like weird occurrences. But yeah, no, I'm all set.
Why tuna?
Either one, I'm not, I don't know, just
Is that like your normal person thing?
my normal person is not tuna, but it's just kind of a random thing. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm not gonna watch it.
Hey, buddy, do you like egg salad sandwiches?
I don't. I do actually.
Carmen, what are your thoughts on the trailer of Midnight?
I will definitely watch it. It's a show that's right up my alley, so I will be watching it. The trailer was pretty cool. It enticed me to watch it. Had we talked about this before? I don't remember if we had, or maybe somebody told me about it. But yeah, I had heard about it, and then when you shared the trailer, and you specifically said like Ash, we should watch it, I just laughed when I read it because I already knew where his reaction was gonna go. But he should watch it. I don't. It'll be fine. He can put up with it, I think. So I'll watch it for sure.
From
As
all
watch,
the
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as I watch Blind Manor and I watched everything else that's come out.
I was gonna touch up on that. I was like gonna say that I still think that Hill House was like a fucking perfect rendition of that. And even though it's not book accurate, that whole story, I believe, and that ensemble cast, the filming of it, that whole fucking series is perfect. So I'll watch anything that Mike Flanagan's done just because of that. And if you haven't seen, he's done a bunch of good shit. So I would definitely trust him as a director. Whatever he puts out, that I would enjoy.
Stefan, go for it. Agree. No, I saw the trailer to it, and I'm like, the thumbnail alone, I'm like, I'm fucking in. Like, seriously, like, because like I've said many a times, when it comes down to horror, I love horror movies. I'm actually going to be signing up for that AMC Plus because I think I get Shudder along with AMC Plus.
No,
yeah, so I'm going to sign up for AMC Plus so I can get essentially Shudder for free. but the mere fact of because I love horror movies and the thumbnail is just a priest, I'm like, all right, I'm fucking in. Like I don't even care I don't even care if it's horrible. Like I'll watch it because it deals with horror and religion, and I was raised extremely Catholic, you know, and yes, I do practice not probably and I'll say not as much as I used to growing up. Kind of like how Andres was saying that he was like an altar boy and stuff like that, but you know, it's I don't practice as much as I used to, you know, just because, you know, I there's just certain things I just don't agree with, but you know, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, it's like, you know, midnight mass. Yeah, fuck it, I'm in. You know, I'm gonna watch that shit, you know, until the cows come home and watch it until it ends. You know, um, so I'm stoked. I want to see it. The cast looks dope. You know, so yeah, any and like Andres was saying, anything that Mike Flanagan does is insane and fucking awesome.
Awesome. We're gonna move on to the next topic. Is our last trailer for the week is Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. Carmen, what did you think about the trailer?
I liked the trailer. I was already on board since the first trailer that came out. It's Anya, so anything that right? That's her.
Absolutely.
That's how you pronounce her name. So anything that she's has done lately, I have loved. So I was pretty on board already. The trailer just solidified the fact that I will definitely be watching it. And I probably would like to watch it on theaters. It's a movie that I definitely would want to watch on the big screen for sure.
Devon, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, another thing that it's one of those directors that I'll watch. You know, Edgar Wright. You know, everything that he's done from Scott Pilgrim to what's that? Drive,
Oh, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. You know, so anything, yeah, everything that he does, it's like I'll watch. It's one of those directors, you know, and everyone has that certain category of directors or actors. It's like whatever they do or they're involved with, you're going to end up watching. You know what I mean? And Edgar Wright is the one that falls into that category as well. I still, like, a part of me, it very much would have loved to have seen an Edgar Wright Ant-Man. But obviously that is probably something for an alternate universe that we could have seen. But yeah, I'm in One Night in Soho, and especially like Carmen was saying with Anya in there, anything that she's in, you know. I ended up starting to watch The Queen's Gambit, and fucking that show is fucking so good.
It's so
man.
good.
It is so good, so good. So I mean,
Ash, did you see the trailer and what did you think?
I did. That's why I was late today. Those are the two trailers I didn't see. I will say that trailer had me more interested because I feel like it's gonna be more of a. I fucking hate when people call something a thriller and it's really a horror movie, only because they're more. Horror is a bigger fucking, a higher fucking a ratio than I have. So when they call it a thriller and then like 97 people died because they got their head cut off, I'm like, okay, cool.
This is more like a mind fuck than.
I do feel like that's a mind fuck. And I do like as you deal with the trailer, it seems so innocent, and then her eye becomes more black and like it. Even in the trailer, I feel like that's deeper into the storyline that she's getting into. And then she just feels like she's just stuck. And then I do like that it starts innocent. I like that it's a Doctor Who. It sucks that I see it like that, but that's the only way that I know him is as a Doctor. But I don't know. It's just I feel like I could handle that with you guys but I may not be able to handle. What was the first one?
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass.
Yeah, Midnight Mass. You guys are all set. You guys do that on your own. I might be able to handle this other movie because it feels like more of a like I could handle Stir of Echoes, but I couldn't handle the nail breaking part. But other than that, Stir of Echoes, that's my
That
shit.
movie was fucking dope, man.
I was gonna say,
It was really good.
does whenever you hear
That's
Painted
fun.
Black, do you get goosebumps just because of that
Fuck
movie?
yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
What?
Whenever you hear Painted Black, do you
Yeah.
get the goosebumps?
Especially because I know this is blasphemous, but I almost like that version as much as the Rolling Stones version.
How
Because
dare you.
I understand, but it's an updated, and it means that to me. Like it's almost like liking the Red Rod Hand because you fucking watched
Peaky Blinders?
I know you did last summer.
No, it was Red Right Hand came out and Scream, and then you
Scream,
could
my
say,
bad.
and then you could say
And
Peaky
that was fucking
Blinders.
not type of native. They did Summer Breeze for type of. They use that anyway,
Summer
but it's like that.
Breeze.
But it was yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's like that. It's like I feel like it can handle that because it's gonna be like a Stir of Echoes type of thing, where there might be one scene I'm not gonna be able to handle, but like Midnight Mass is gonna be like
From the start, it's too much for you.
yeah. It just seems like it's not.
Come
And
on,
then
man.
This innocence is gonna be like the work, like Midsummer, like the way that it started out was like we're all going to fucking blah blah blah, and then it just got fucking faces breaking. I'm all out. I'm all
Come
out.
on. Just come in. Look, you can come over here. You can watch it here. You can sleep over. It'll be
Go.
fine.
I have another movie for you. Go watch Saint Maud.
Ooh.
You could watch it. You could watch it.
If you guys do this as a
That is nowhere. That is nowhere near sinister. You could do it. You could do it. Have
Do what
Vanessa with you.
you guys do
It'd be
this
good.
as a stray cat, trying to get this cat to be a modern cat, cool. But when you're trying to fucking be like, hey, so watch Five Faces of Death like part 1 and 2.
This is not Faces of
This
Death.
is nothing like Faces of
I'm
Death.
not trying to get Garfield to get on a treadmill instead of eating lasagna. You could
Yeah.
do this. You could do
Damn it,
this,
that's
Garfield.
awesome. And the only girl laughed. God damn. See,
You could do this,
I'm
Garfield.
sorry, I didn't. It was not meant in the way that you
What's
said
the name
it.
of the movie? What's the name of the
Dick
my
Maud.
challenge? Dick Mod?
Saint Maud.
Saint Mod. Okay. Okay,
could
so
do-
I have Saint Mod and Fringe.
It's on Hulu. You could do it.
Or it's
Is
on
it a
Paramount Plus.
It's on. Well, I don't have Paramount Plus.
Saint Mod is a movie.
Yes.
All right. I will have somebody here and I will watch Satan Mod.
You could have Vanessa over. Have yourself some nice King Taco, since we know that's what she enjoys. And
That's
let's do
just
it.
Yes. We'll
It's a
work that out.
callback.
It's a callback. Thank you.
Yes,
We'll
I try
work
to
that
do. I try to do comedy once in a while. Moving on. All right, so we have our last two topics for the night. We're going to go do our reviews of Shang-Chi and the last episode of What If. I haven't watched any of those because I saw Candyman and I have no life. So go for it, guys.
Wait.
I'm gonna,
Andreas, can I handle Candyman? I was challenged with that.
can you
All
handle-
right. No.
There's not too much. Fuck, man.
I understand.
It's not that scary. I think you could do it, but there is like atmosphere that'll fuck with you.
Yeah.
So you're like expecting shit to happen. I don't know.
All right.
What was the last horror movie you say you saw? Or scary thing?
I heard Paranormal Activity 4, and then it got to the part where all their eyes were black, and then I was like, I'm out.
You're done.
Yeah.
But the jump scares part didn't scare you, right?
No, the jump scares are the parts that get me all fucking like. It's a.
Get he like a schoolgirl?
I am. Yeah. Well,
Um,
I do wear skirts during the movies. I don't know if that affects anything.
Thanks.
It might.
I was gonna say there's a lot of atmosphere in it. If that's the part that scares you, there isn't too much scary shit like fucking demonology shit. It's a good story. I saw that movie in Orange County, and if you know anything about that movie, it was pretty hilarious having our Caucasian brothers in the movie theater with it. If you see it, you
Don't
know what.
ever say Caucasian brothers because that gets weird.
Anyways, yes. So
In
that
prison,
part
that
was
means
pretty funny.
different thing.
Yeah.
I bet
I-
it's pretty educational for Caucasian people.
It's
Let's just put it that way.
it's.
Oh, no.
I think you could handle it.
I think I can
Possibly.
handle Candyman.
Yeah, I think you can. I would say not go alone, and probably probably watch it during the day. Like there
Yeah.
not fuck. There's moments that are scary, but it isn't gonna be like, oh my god, shit.
Yeah.
So
Like, people love Hereditary, but the kid's head coming off. I'm all set.
Our pets' heads are falling off!
Like that's gonna stay with me forever.
see, that's what's weird. What not weird, but that's I know that you don't like gore. So any gore shit, like you don't have much. Maybe a couple scenes, not too bad.
But the ones that I have, I can talk about today. You know what I mean? Like, and I saw them in like '94. You know what I mean?
I think you can get through it.
I can
It's
get
more
through.
atmosphere and story instead of straight out jump scares and horror
Okay.
and gore.
Okay.
Can you please not like move the camera when I'm yawning? Anybody? Anyways, okay. So Shang-Chi, who's watched it? Give us your review. Go. Carmen, I know you watched it. Go ahead.
I liked the movie. I gave it a 8 out of 10. And I'll give you the things that I like first. I like the fact that the movie is being played by actors that speak the language, and it is spoken in Chinese or Mandarin. And there are subtitles to it. They're speaking Mandarin, so it's not like, like they're speaking English, and it like it's true to what it is when it's explaining its origin story. So I very much appreciated that. It's about time that it's done that way. So I feel that we have come far, and I tip my hat off to Marvel for doing that. That's awesome. The representation was great. The things that it didn't explain some things, and then it kind of stretched out some dialogue scenes that I didn't feel were like, I just didn't feel that were needed for the movie, or like didn't bring anything to the plot. And then again, as I just said, like there was some things that weren't explained. I'm sure they're going to be explained as the universe grows and there are more movies. But overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them bringing the Mandarin back from Iron Man, and kind of like going back and talking about how that happened and what that was all about. So I appreciated that. So I recommend you guys go watch the movie. It's really good. If you don't want to watch it in theaters, it's on Disney Plus. So for sure, watch it. I liked it. It also sets up what's going to happen in the Marvel universe coming up. I know that we kind of already talked about it with the shows that have been coming out on Disney Plus, but this movie definitely like expands on that, and it kind of mentions the fact that there are other universes or realities happening at the same time, and there are like ways to travel. So yeah.
Sweet.
Anybody else watch?
I haven't seen it yet. Honestly, to be quite honest, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go watch it in theaters. So it might be one of those where I wait until it's either on DVD or it's on Disney Plus. just right now, obviously with the whole COVID thing and with two kids at home, it's not really in the mood of risking anything. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
Totally.
sorry. Right now that you mentioned, and I don't mean to cut you off on the rest. Right now that you mentioned your kids, it reminded me there are some heavy subjects in the movie. I know that there was a family next to us that brought their young son, and I know that when you're a kid, like these things go over your head, but I don't know because I was pretty scarred with like Lion King and the relationship between like dad, like passing away or whatnot. And I'm not saying this movie is like that, but there's heavy subjects that I don't like maybe kids can pick up on, and I don't think like unless the parent is willing to have that conversation with their child after watching the movie, then maybe like don't take your young kids. I would say maybe like a 10-year-old could definitely like understand and like, take it for what it is. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm sensitive to that. So I don't know if other people thought of it the same way, but definitely just a precaution,
So
like
I
we
will keep that in
appreciate
mind.
we appreciate that warning. Thank you, Carmen. Ash, did you watch? No. Thank you. Awesomeness. Moving on to our last topic / review of the night, and that is the latest. Well, depending when you watch this, the last episode of What If. Who's watched it and what are your thoughts? Go for it. Whoever wants to jump in. Anyone.
Wow. So I'm gonna assume that I watched it too. It was episode 5 and it's about zombies. It's about our heroes, our beloved heroes, and the anticipated zombie episode. I liked the episode. I feel the story was strong enough and it could stand on its own. I know that it's a what if series, so it's like, like a standalone story. There is a cliffhanger at the end, which I won't spoil for those of you that have not watched it, but I literally said it out loud and I watched it during my lunch. So my coworker was like, I know what you're watching. And I was like, yes. So she's like, I can't wait for the next episode. Hopefully they talk about it. So it's really good. I like the story that was behind it and how how it happened. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I really appreciate this What If series for what it is because I know this wouldn't be a story that would be done as a movie or like to build the universe or whatever. So I appreciate it. No spoiler here, but Chadwick Boseman does appear on the episode and it's his voice. So that also is like pretty nice, to still have that coming back. And so I appreciate it. So it's definitely worth watching for sure.
Awesome. Stefan?
Yeah, the 5th episode, the zombie one, was great. If anyone had a chance to read the Marvel Zombies, that would probably be the best thing to do if you guys want to go ahead and keep an eye out on it. The Marvel Zombies comic book was actually really, really, really good. And I think they did 2 parts to it. I think the part 2 was more, or volume 2 was a little bit more recent. But just to give you guys the gist on it is essentially our superheroes end up becoming zombies, but they keep their intelligence. So they're able to use their superpowers and stuff like that. So it's actually really, really good. Just to piggyback everything off of what Carmen was saying, it was really, it was fantastic. I was excited to see it. It was fun to watch. So like Carmen said, I hope that they talk about, how it ended in a cliffhanger. And then we move on to, episode 6 and it becomes, we see what ends up happening next. So it's pretty cool. it was really good. I hope this is one of those Marvel series that becomes, season 2, 3, 4. This is a season. This is a type of show that can be 10 seasons in, 15 seasons in, because there's so many what if scenarios that could possibly take place. So it's actually
I
pretty
think
cool.
they confirmed, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but they
No, it's
confirmed
okay.
they're doing a season 2 for it.
Oh, fantastic.
So-
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I'm in.
Ash,
Same.
did you watch?
Yeah, I didn't see the zombie one because we got up to 4, but I did like to spoilers for the Doctor Strange one. This is like the thing that I always love. Like it's a character that it's not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy, but then you meet the person that makes you that person. And it was Doctor Strange that was almost like a Tony Stark character. And it was like he was just doing everything he can to keep what happens to her from happening. But what was really cool was when he was trying to hold his world together, it was really a callback to WandaVision, when the whole the graphs and everything that was closing, it brought the whole, like, this is all not the same world, but the same world. Does that make sense? Like, it just that's the way all these worlds were closed, like through these weird, almost like the Matrix graphs. And he was just trying to keep this world open because he's just trying to look at his girl, like as she is fucking disintegrating, which is what he caused. Like, there was no fucking winning. Again, spoiler. Like, it was the most tragic love story. So fucking good. And it's like, all I want to do is fucking save you. In this universe, that's the universe that works out the way it's supposed to, and the way I'm supposed to become a hero. But I don't want to become. I'm gonna become a hero, but I want to do everything to save you. It's like fucking Batman trying to save his parents from fucking dying. Like, you don't become Batman if you're gonna try to save your fucking parents. Like, it's not gonna happen. But I want everything. But that's the way this universe dies. And he's using the powers that he accumulated through fucking killing all the gods, using all the magic. Everything he could accumulate was not going to save the one fucking thing he fucking wanted. That's fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful, I don't know. It's beautifully tragic, as what they call it. Like, I haven't seen the zombie one, but part 4 was fucking like everything, all the what ifs, like, oh, Peggy Carter as fucking Captain America, that's fucking amazing. That's cool. Like, but there's always that one thing that's gonna hit you, like a beautifully tragic story that's like, fuck, that's fucking far and beyond.
Well said, sir. I appreciate your sentiments on that. So that'll wrap up the show for this week. I would like to thank you all for tuning in, for following any one of our many social media accounts, for commenting, for sharing it with your fans, for reviewing our show. We appreciate every single interaction you guys have on our behalfs. And we'd like to say, please do more. From the bottom of our hearts, we'd like you to do more. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the week until we see you again. Have a great night. This is Comix.
We are everywhere.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah, you do.
Who to give it to? I already gave one to Carmen. I would think it would be unfair to give it to Luis, since he gave it to me first. Ooh, dirty. Esteban, then I'll give it out I'll give it good. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll throw the short one and I'll save the long one for another time. Alrighty, so it's gonna be